The reality is this. Black people's voting is not in danger, and you know it's not. And you know it's not. I'm 63 years old. I've been voting since I was 18. I have never had a problem voting. Now, that may apply to my mother and father. It applies to my grandparents. Surely it does. And in fact, because it does, every single person in this room, including that Jewish lady that just got up and talked, need to really be thanking us. Really need to be thanking us for getting y'all the right to vote, for getting y'all the right to be here, instead of sitting up here manipulating the Voting Rights Act like something's getting ready to happen to our right to vote, when you know that's not true. So now you all gonna drag black people in here, definitely some senior citizens, and gonna have them come up here and talk about how they scared to vote, how this messed up their right to vote, women need to vote, all that junk, when you know it's not true. Just like you sit up here and make like black people can't get IDs. Us requiring IDs to vote, it's gonna stop black people from voting. Why black people ain't got IDs? See, you all get more and more ridiculous. But you can't, in this room full of these black people, talk about that federal case that just got filed Monday that's talking about how you all are stealing property at Cook County sales. Where the black people in here? Raise your hand that if they told you to come in here to talk about how your property got stolen. Where you at? Huh? Because we got commissioners in here that know for a fact it's happening. Catskill, you know it's happening. Lori, you know it's happening. Michael Scott, you know it's happening. Lamont Williams, come on, you give up cases for the county. You know it's happening. Donna Miller, you know what's happening. Well, come on, y'all black people that they done send here with these 501c3s, that they got y'all in here talking for them. Why y'all ain't in here talking about how they stealing our property?
1 minute.
Where y'all at? Come on, because y'all getting ready to come up here to this mic and lie for the cameras to say that black people's voting is done by this Louisiana thing and Donald Trump and the Trump administration, when Donald Trump is in front of the Supreme Court right now fighting for the 14th Amendment, saying that black people, that amendment was for black people.
30 seconds.
Not for birthrights, not for people to anchor themselves over here illegally. And they got y'all black people in here getting ready to talk against him. I mean, y'all real sick up in the head. You sick in the head and more sicker in your spirit. This is insane.
Time has expired for the speaker. Next
Y'all
speaker,
crazy.
Taiwan Sim.
I love her spirit. She said the voting rights, all this talk about voting rights, doesn't affect black Americans being able to vote. And when you hear voting rights, that's the first thing people think. And yeah, I want people to know that when they hear the voting rights, they think voting. They think, oh, you're taking away their right to vote. No one's breaking it down for these people, letting them know, oh, we're talking about who you be able to vote for, who might be eligible to run. That's what we're talking about. And we're talking about the way that the districts will be structured. We're not talking about your ability to vote. And I don't think about the SAVE Act. That's a whole different conversation about eligibility requirements if you're able to show that you are a U.S. citizen. Family, 14 million undocumented people crossed the border. They came in under the Biden administration. Okay, according to Duke University Press, black Americans in 2023 made up about 13.3% of U.S. population. At the same time, Latino Americans or Hispanic Americans were 26.1 in 2023. It's predicted in 2050, the black American population, if it all goes well, the high-end projection, is 16.9%. Hispanics, if everything keeps going the way it's going with the immigration, births, what have you, we're looking at 40% of the U.S. population being Hispanic Americans. Hello? Y'all really think these programs, these issues, these pushbacks are about us? I know the Democrats want you to believe it's about us. We didn't double our numbers. You know, I could talk about black people all day. When I start talking about immigrants, then I got all these people people I don't know making content trying to drag me. Yeah. Ain't nothing behind that.
Dating back over 3 decades, Democratic presidents and cabinet members have had strong stances on immigration, from Bill Clinton to Barack Obama and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton.
Our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before.
Undocumented workers broke our immigration laws, and I believe that they must be held accountable, especially those who may be dangerous.
I think we got to have tough conditions. Tell people to come out of the shadows. If they've committed a crime, deport them. No questions asked. They're gone.
The numbers backing up those positions, according to the Cato Institute in migration policy, following President George W. Bush's 2 million removals, Obama set a record with over 3 million. Years prior, Clinton had over 850,000, and Trump's first term more than 930,000.
I can talk about black issues all day, but when I start talking about immigration, then all of a sudden certain Negroes pop up who don't give a damn about what I'm talking about for black folks. They want to jump out and say I'm a white nationalist. I got white nationalist talking points.
Burton former DHS senior advisor Charles Marino telling the National News Desk he believes this Democratic reversal in part started 5 years ago.
We have seen now an abandonment by the party at large, where they do not want to see these laws enforced.
Marino says while some Democrats were unhappy with previous immigration policies, the rhetoric being shared has changed under the current administration.
You certainly weren't as vocal as you are now, since the Trump administration is doing it, and you certainly weren't obstructing.
They won't even admit where we are as far as demographics, to fight for resources in these cities. We had black Americans in all these cities, all these majorly black cities, grabbing microphones in city halls, saying exactly what I'm saying. But I guess they all paid off by Trump, right? Everybody paid by Trump if they disagree with you. I wonder who paying him.
But you know why? It ain't no shock all of a sudden y'all start opening y'all mouths. It ain't no shock Amber Rose saying her bullshit to Nick Cannon on his podcast. You know why? Because y'all always show up around elections. See, I find it real interesting how a whole bunch of these Simple Simon Negroes were real quiet last year.
I've been hearing about the property, the lease snatching. I've been hearing about this issue. I have not looked further enough into it to comment about it with enough information, so I got to leave it alone. But I have been hearing about people losing their property. And if that's going on in your city, and they got you at a town hall and they want you to talk about voting rights, but meanwhile your house is being taken, you know people that are losing their deeds. Hello? Some takes precedent over if Justin Pearson will be able to run or if his district is going to exist. I mean, I think there are bigger issues at stake, don't you? Yeah, I think there is. So yeah, I got no problems with what this sister had to say. In fact, I agree with her. I agree that our prioritization needs to be recalibrated because we got real shit going on. And whether Jasmine Crockett or Joshua or Justin Pearson are going to be able to make it to Congress so they can do their insider trading bullshit that the rest of the Democrats do, I don't think that's a three-alarm fire type of issue. That's more like a get in where you fit in or don't type of issue. Meanwhile, the average black American is worth 10% of the average white American. And you want me to be worried about certain elite black Americans who, when push comes to shove, they fighting for Latinos, LGBTQ, and Palestinians. Now, I got nothing wrong with you fighting for Latinos, LGBTQ, and Palestinians. Please continue to fight for Latinos, LGBTQ, and Palestinians. But when you use us to do it, when you use our name to do it, when all your rhetoric, when you get in trouble is, I'm black, that's when I get like an owl. Who? Because real recognize real and your ass don't look familiar. In the press conference. All right, hit the like button, y'all. We almost at the end of this one tonight. Man, well, sometimes I inspire myself. That was all right.